Thank you. Once again, a very, very good morning to all of you. A very, very warm welcome to all of you at the third Karachi Literature Festival. I am Syed Mashood Rizvi. I'm Director, British Council for Sindh and Balochistan, and have had the privilege of moderating the inauguration session of all three festivals. We have to keep time by the minute, really. So without further ado, I request Country Director for the British Council, Mr. David Martin, to please come and welcome the authors, welcome Hugh, and to tell us a bit more about the British Council's role in the festival.
Assalamu alaikum, good morning. It's a great pleasure to be standing here to welcome all of you to the festival, our third opportunity to co-organise with Oxford University Press Pakistan this now well-established event in Karachi's and Pakistan's cultural and intellectual calendar. The arts provide a forum for debate and discussion, along with the freedom to express diverse opinions. And as I read through the programme this morning, I could see that we're not shying away from the controversial and slightly contentious. This is vital to our work here in Pakistan, alongside the British Council's work in English and education. It's a very special year for our work in literature. On Tuesday, we celebrated the 200th anniversary of the birth of Charles Dickens, whose picture you'll see around the place. And the response to the British Council's many commemorations worldwide was astonishing. Pakistan has played its part in these celebrations. A teacher in Lahore joined our global readathon, reading an excerpt from Uncommercial Traveller, which you can see alongside readings from 23 other countries on YouTube. Later today, we will see the contemporary response of young people in Karachi to Dickens' work, who've been working with theatre experts Owen Calvert-Jones from the Arcola Theatre in London and Britain's Punch Drunk Company. We're very proud this year to have three authors who have arrived with our support: Hanif Qureshi, Anatol Lieven, and this year's festival keynote speaker, whom we will hear this morning, William Dalrymple. We're very pleased to have the presence of writers from the United States, Germany and France, as well as a stellar cast of authors from Pakistan, Bangladesh and India and other countries. Thank you very much for the continuing generous support from the US Consulate General in Karachi, from the French and German embassies, and from the Alliance Française and the Goethe Institute. Without your support, this festival would not be as large and as exciting as it is. I'd also like to express my warm thanks to my own team in British Council here in Karachi, supported by colleagues in Lahore and Islamabad, and to the Oxford University Press in Pakistan for all their hard work that they put into creating this exciting event. They get several more grey hairs each year. They feel slightly more harassed each year as it gets bigger, but it's well worth all the effort that goes into it. And I'd like a special word of thanks to Susie Nicklin, our Director of Literature, who is here with us from London. She was so instrumental in getting this festival established in the first place with Amina Saeed and Asif Faruqi. And finally, a most important thank you to Amina and Asif for inviting the British Council to be part of this celebration of authors and writing. I hope you enjoy the festival. Without further ado, I'll hand back to Mashood.
Thank you, David. We also are spotting patches of grey hair on you. I hope it has less to do with Karachi Literature Festival and more to do with other stuff. With me, that is. I've changed the program a little bit. I hope Asif Bhai is close by. Right here. Yeah. So, yes. If I now can request a founding member of the Karachi Literature Festival, a very, very strong force, intellectual force behind the festival, a very well-known person in the community of literature of all regional and international languages. I request you to please welcome Asif Faruqi.
Thank you very much, Mashood. I think listening to your inaugurations is going to add to my gray hair. And at this stage, at this age, I'm grateful to have any hair, gray or otherwise. Um, Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome you to the Karachi Literature Festival by welcoming you into the Ark. Into the Ark, this is the name of a haunting poem by Wisława Szymborska, the Nobel Prize winning Polish woman poet. I think she was one of the leading writers of the 20th century. And sadly, she died a few days back. And ever since I've heard of her death through a blog, I have been reading her poems, each poem every day. And I would like to read the first few lines of a poem of hers called Into the Ark. So this is Into the Ark. An endless reign is just beginning. Into the Ark, for where else can you go? You poems for a single voice, private exultations, unnecessary talents, surplus curiosity, short-range sorrows and fears, eagerness to see things from all six sides. I'm reading these words, this poem, not only as a tribute to a great modern spirit, but also trying to connect to this festival through her words. And this line of this eagerness to see things from all six sides, from multiple points of view, I think this seems to me to symbolize this festival of literature. And it is through this we enter into an arc of poems, an arc of books. Books which provide a refuge, books which feed our curiosity and which nourish our imagination. It is this very recognition of this power of literature, its relevance to ourselves and to our society. This is of vital importance to this very notion of the festival itself. And while we were planning, Amina Sayyed, the British Council, and myself, the idea was that this festival should be based on the age-old literary and cultural histories as well as the creative opportunities of the moment and provided by the context of Pakistan. So the idea is that we draw upon the dynamism by bringing together writers, poets, scholars, academics from a diversity of languages, academic disciplines and intellectual traditions to create this opportunity. And it is a very important notion to us that it is reflects the historical roots of Pakistan through the multiplicity of languages and in various forms of writing. At the same time, we would also like to highlight the context of the moment. And while taking an obvious advantage of this great upsurge of interest in writing from and about Pakistan, at the same time we would like to broaden the picture and counterbalance the depiction of society in Pakistan as reductionist or in absolute terms by celebrating not only its problems but highlighting the diversity and dynamism. So through dialogue, discussion, readings, renderings, the festival is meant to create an intellectual space in which the pluralism of Pakistan society and as expressed through its authors can be freely accessible to people in an open and participatory manner. We also recognize that such opportunities are not many. So we feel that this festival has a vital function. We like to think of it as a window through which the world can see and connect with the realities of Pakistan, and from which we in Pakistan can also encounter what is happening in the world. At the same time, we must also understand the inherent dangers of such a situation, such a notion. The ark can simply degenerate into a circus. The word tamasha has been used by Amitav Ghosh, the famous Indian author, in this context in a recent article which he's written on his blog about not participating in the Jaipur festival. So since I have also not participated in the Jaipur festival, I can also join in. But rather than call it a tamasha, the word I would like to use instead is jashan. The word very carefully selected by the organizers as being closer to the spirit of the KLF. So a jashan, a celebration of the very private act of reading and the not so private art of public discussion. This festival is meant as a celebration, not simply a tamasha, to the diversity, and something which I found again something which I found more relevant than the word tamasha in Ghosh's essay, and I'm going to quote a sentence from his article in which he talks about books, and this is Ghosh: books by their very nature often give offense and create outrage, and this is bound to be especially so in circumstances where there are deep anxieties about how certain groups are perceived and represented. So this is a danger that we in the KLF are bound to face and are going to face. So this celebration of the freedom of reading and writing, the freedom inherent in reading and writing, also recognizes that there can be differences of opinions, but with the freedom to hold opinions and to express different opinions. There are many books or some of the discussions that are going to be held today, and I can sense immediately that I would not be agreeing with some of them, I would be differing from them, but at the same time, I would like to hear those point of views, and it is important for those points of views to come to the forefront. So this discussion, this debate is the spirit of KLF. I hope that you enjoy it, celebrate it, and carry the spirit of the festival with you whenever you step outside. And I'm going to end my comments by the closing lines from the Szymborska poem that I opened with. For the sake of the children that we still are. Fairy tales have happy endings. That is the only finale that will do here too. The rain will stop, the waves will subside, the clouds will part in the cleared up sky. So hoping that as you step in and out of the ark, you will be see the clouds and the air. So welcome out of the ark.
Thank you, Asbai. And I think we have a very, very important element of participation already from the very start of the day. I saw a lot of school children arrive. A very warm welcome to you guys, and thank you very much for being here. I now request Amina Sayed, who is obviously very well known, is in no need of an introduction, is now leading, Alhamdulillah, the third Karachi Literature Festival into its existence. So I please put your hands together for Amina Sayed.
Thank you, Masood. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, authors, participants, students, Assalamu alaikum. Once again, it's my great pleasure to see all of you gathered here at the opening of the third Karachi Literature Festival. And I'm grateful to all our authors and all of you who are present here to encourage us. I would like to welcome William Dalrymple, who has just arrived. Thank you for joining us, William. And I would also like, William will be giving the keynote speech at the opening, and I would also like to welcome Hanif Qureshi, who will be with us for the 2 days and will also give he will give the closing speech. It is said that the reading habit is dying in Pakistan, but I beg to differ. We would not be here if that were the case. Of course, we have to work together to grow the sale of books, but with imagination and perseverance, I feel that the field is wide open. We might find ourselves on a plateau in the publishing world, and there's a temptation to rest and bask in one's success. However, there is still so much to be achieved that the view from the plateau is breathtaking. There's a promise in the air for publishers in Pakistan. From children's books to doctoral theses, esoteric and research works, fiction and poetry and informative writings in so many languages, there is so much to publish and so much to read. Imagine a soaring population of children who need to be entertained and informed. The genre of children's writing alone has so much potential. There are unexplored themes in fiction. The novels written here are usually about middle-class life. But outside that are a plethora of themes waiting to spring to life under a writer's touch. The lives of people in refugee camps, people as haris, men and women subjected to karokari, children kidnapped and sold, the drug picture, imprints of poverty that could do with a Charles Dickens. Pakistan is a researcher's delight. There are vanishing arts and crafts to be documented, architecture and little-known places to be captured, unsung heroes and heroines to be identified, obscure ways of life, unique customs, and little-known languages and literatures to be recorded. There are themes for PhD thesis and opportunities for original and pioneering work. There are innumerable archives hidden in the homes of families. The scope of publishing in Pakistan is like an unborn spirit of greatness. It is hovering in the air, waiting for the right conditions and for a harmonious blend of scholarship and enterprise. And I hope that with all these, publishing will flourish in Pakistan. And I think with readers like you, who are obviously devoted to books, I'm sure that there's enormous scope here. This year, apart from the regular sessions of discussions and talks, we've also organized a strand for children. We've done this because I feel that we can't overstate the importance of the reading habit in children, especially in Pakistan, where most of our children are growing up with the habit of rote learning. We need to work hard to get children reading and to achieve that magic moment when they will become totally absorbed in what they are reading. Words will then speak to them, inspire them, and shape them. There are no age limits or boundaries in reading, and above all, reading can bring freedom. Today and tomorrow, we will have sessions in and on many languages: Urdu, Saraiki, Sindhi, English, French, German. We will see just how vibrant and linguistically complex language is, as it is shaped by the people who speak it, write it, and experiment with it. Language is a joyful, living thing that evolves constantly. The best that parents, teachers, and publishers can do for children is to provide them with a profusion and variety of good reading material, from which they can select what attracts them the most. Reading ensures a mind that is comfortable with ideas, which is a state that is a prelude to creativity.